Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Money Huddle. It's your boy Dre Rich and my co-host Shaq. What's good, Shaq?
Oh man, Friday. You got the weekend of football ahead of us. It's a biggest day.
Hell yeah! I'm so excited for this week. We started off the week very well when we cashed some money on this boring Dolphins at Bills game. Man, boring. Telling you.
Ugly game.
But to recap that, the Bills, they did win the game. They did not cover the 12 and a half points. The Dolphins, they made it competitive, much more competitive than I thought they would make it. And we did see a doink from a kicker, Matt Prater, showing his age in that kick, breaking a 40-yarder. Actually, it was like a 35-yarder to not cover the spread in the end of the game. So that kick that happened earlier in the game affected our over hitting. Well, affected our bet hitting. It's just it's hurt. Like we just talked about this.
Backs
We
up.
just
Backs
talked
up
about
what I
how
said.
kicking is important. It is impactful to the game and to our bets. And that's what happened to us. We did not cash on the 12 and a half with the Bills.
Robbed, man. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't think like we were talking about kicking's hard enough, man. It's these guys are automatic from farther, but like you said, 35 yards and it determined the bet in the long run. 3 points. I knew that game. 12 and a half is a lot. I knew that game was. I was close on that game. I wanted the under. You talked me into it, but yeah, we were close there on the 12 and a half.
The under did not hit either, Shaq. The under did
Yeah,
not hit either. It was over.
I know.
The game was
I
30
wanted the
was 31, 21,
I
52
wanted the
points.
Dolphins to cover originally, and I changed my brain, and I was like, I think it'll be under. I think that's the only way because I was like, well, if they blow them out, that means the Dolphins won't score a lot. And then it ended up being a scoring fest. It was close there at the end. I was like, well, surely we'll get the over. And then, yeah, we get a 35-yard brick from Prater. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is rough, but we will say that I will tout that I did cash on Shakir over yards. He had 45. The line that y'all got was 42 and a half. He did cover that spread. He had 45 exactly. Um, I also hit on the Tyreek Hill touchdown. I told you, this man does score in prime time. He is a diva. Divas score in prime time. You'll hear more about this stuff later in the show. But divas in prime time,
Tyro.
divas in big spots, they will score. So we did cash on that. And Shaq did cash on one of his props.
Only
Devon
one,
A.
man.
Chan. Devon A. Chan
Yeah.
did have a shit ton of receptions. Whoa.
Yeah. I
Yo.
think he had 7. That was the last time I
They
looked. I was like,
used
oh, I cashed it.
they used and abused him, bro. Like he is not a running back.
Oh,
He is a
there's a reason he wears
receiver.
that Guardian cap. He looks like a little bobblehead, but he needs that Guardian cap. All 5'8" of them, man. Like, there's like here. They abuse that guy so much.
Exactly. The man is a weapon in the passing game, less in the run game, but he was on point. And they made it a game, and we didn't cash. But that's the beginning. That's just the beginning of week 3. We have a lot of games to cover, guys. So we're going to get right into it. We got Shaq's first game. Can y'all guess what game it is? Of course, it's the Eagles Rams game. We have a bona fide Eagles fan on the podcast. Of course, we're going to bet it. But where is he going to go with this bet? That's the question.
Now, you think I would take the over, considering how this game went in the NFC Championship game? But I've watched my Eagles struggle in the passing, so I'm taking the under here. I think it's going to be a smash mouth team. I think the Rams are going to be looking for revenge. It's in Philly. Uh, our run game has been all right. It hasn't been Saquon. Saquon did bust off some big runs against this team in both games last year, but the passing game was kind of hit or miss. AJ had a good game in the first game and then was pretty much irrelevant in the second game. So it's kind of hit or miss, and I feel like defenses are going to play a bigger part here. You know that Rams defense is young, and they know us really well, and they definitely don't want Saquon to go off for another 200 yards on him again. So I think, like I said, our passing game, as much as we're 2-0, and I love it, we could improve in the air. So I really think the under here. I like it. I think our the front seven for both of these teams are going to really control the outcome here. It'll be low scoring, and definitely some field goals kicked here. So I'm taking the under for sure.
Yes, you like the under, and I definitely understand where this is coming from. Both these teams are actually looking forward to this rematch, being how the playoff matchup ended. It could have went either way. So now I feel like the Rams think that they have improved, getting Devontae Adams to make things tougher on this rematch than they did in the playoffs. Their defense is still the same. The defense is the same as it was when y'all last played them, but the offense has changed. And on your side, the defense has changed, but the offense is the same. So it's gonna be a weird dualistic matchup, honestly, how both
We
sides have
test.
improved on different sides. But you like two receivers in this game, one
I
from each
do.
side. Let's start with your side.
I think. I think right here, AJ Brown has had multiple. He's had at least 8 targets in both games last year. He had 6 receptions in the first game and like 108 yards in the regular season. And the second game, he had like 2 catches for 38 yards. So it's kind of, I'm going to take the average here. I'm going to put the middle at 3.5. I think that's what they're giving us. That's the average of the 2 games last year. It's kind of the average of AJ this year. He had like 1 catch in week 1, and he had 4 catches on 7 or 8 targets last week, but only 38 yards. So I like the receptions here. I think the Rams are going to put pressure on them. Like I said, if they're really set on Saquon not burning them, then they're going to have to use the pass game. And I think AJ is going to be moving the chains. It's going to be kind of dink and dunk is what we'll see here. But I think AJ Brown gets targeted a lot. The Rams secondary is young. They're not bad, but AJ's proven he can eat against this team. And by the time we made it to the playoffs, it was a snow game. So the run was really, really important in that playoff run for us in Philly with the snow. This is September ball, so it's going to be a lot warmer, and I think AJ is going to get targets here for sure. They might not be a lot of yards, but I feel comfortable on the reception.
I agree with you, bro. But the reason why I agree with you on that specific prop is because Kobe Bryant for the Rams is 5'11". He's gonna be
Yeah,
tasked with guarding AJ Brown, and it's not gonna fucking go
AJ
well.
AJ is a man. He is a man's man on the outside. He's a strong wide receiver. He's gonna get it. He's always open. I don't know if you saw that one-handed catch he had fallen down last week. The man can make catches. He's got great hands. So yeah, undersized CB. That's not good. I like AJ here at 3.5.
Yeah, AJ Brown's just a big guy, bro, and I love Kobe Durant. I mean Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. He's actually a very good corner, and I like Darius Williams too. I like this whole Rams defense. I just think they're just small, and the way to get to beat them is going to be the pass game, not the running game. And you support that pick later on in this bet too. But your next receiver is on the Rams. You actually like Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I think like you said, you were talking. This isn't Cooper Cup. The offense has changed. Kyron's going to be a big part of this, but Devontae, the first two games of the season, like you could see how important he is. He's their red zone guy. He's their downfield guy. He's their move the chain guy. But I mean, he can do anything Puka can do. So it really depends on where Quavon Mitchell's at. Um, we're going to see what the vet has for the sophomore season on Quavon Mitchell if he's going to shadow him. We've been playing a lot of zone, not a whole lot of man. We kind of got burned against Dallas playing man, and we played zone a lot in the second half. We've kind of stayed in that zone defense, and that's if Adoree Jackson's on Devontae Adams, there's where he's going to get 4 catches. But I think it's going to be the same here. I think we're going to have a run stopping defense. I think Kyron Williams might have a hard time getting yards against us through the ground on the ground. So they're going to have to get plays. They're going to have to move the chains. I think Devontae Adams has been his favorite target so far, and I can see Devontae getting 4 catches, 5 catches. He's had at least 9 to 10 targets in the first 2 games. So
And I'm a big Cooper Cup hater. I am on the Cooper Cup. Luckily, got the triple crown that one year, and it was all Stafford, not him. And the easy road they had to the play to the championship that year, and it wasn't Cooper Cup being so good because I don't think he's that good right now on the Seahawks. And yeah, he's gotten older, but I'm more of a Devontae Adams makes this team way more lethal than Cooper Cup would ever make it lethal. So I'm on you. I'm on the same page with you with this Devontae Adams catches, just because I just believe that he needs to be used. And Puka Nakua will be getting the Cooper DeJean treatment, possibly. They're very similar statured guys, um, both big bodied, and I think that's going to be his task for the entire night. While while Devontae Adams gets to deal with whoever the hell else y'all throw at him because y'all don't have a good cornerback, safety team right now. Y'all are definitely susceptible in the pass game. So I know that Matt Stafford, my boy, he ain't got no legs, bro. He's not running the ball. He will be passing that ball,
not with
and
that.
Devontae will be getting you. Yeah, Stafford will be getting the ball to Devontae Adams, guaranteed. So I'm with you on that one. But you also have an under in this game, and it's another under on one of his boys.
My boy Saquon. I had the under last week against the Chiefs, and it cashed. It's a really good run defense in Kansas City. And I know Saquon, everybody's on the over because Saquon has gone off on this team. And I just believe the Rams have a different attitude this time around. I think that all costs they're going to try and stop Saquon. And honestly, the offenses look kind of stale on our side. Like we're trying to run the same kind of run the ball, throw when we absolutely have to, and Jalen make a play and tush push, 1st and 9. So I just see us trying to control the clock. That seems to be what we've been doing. We've only scored 44 points in the first 2 games. I don't see it being a high scoring game. I see a lot of control from controlling the clock through the ground, but I don't see the Rams breaking contain on Saquon. They're gonna make Jalen Hurts beat him with his legs or throw in this game. Uh, just because they've been burned by Saquon too many times, they're gonna have a game plan. It's gonna be a chess match between these two, but I just don't see Saquon getting 111 yards in this. He might get 70, 80 rushing yards, but really he's not, as much as he's a great receiver back, he can do it. They don't really utilize him as a receiving back in Philly. They really haven't. I think he's only had 1 or 2 games with 4 catches. So he's not part of the passing game. So I like his total yards under 110, and I don't know why they keep trying to sell us on his receiving yards, but I'll keep trying to take the under every time they give me it to me.
Yeah, I I don't even know how you even have the courage to bet any under with Saquon, but you are 1-0 doing so. So I will trust you on this one as well. I Saquon, you know Saquon more than I would, bro. So like I'll give you that. He's going to
I
go
watched
under.
him struggle in New York years against a bad line and still put up 1,000 yard season. Like I know what he's capable of. I think everybody knows what we did last year, and if we're gonna try and literally do the same thing this year, it's just a matter of time. Like we have to get that passing game going eventually, and I think it's better early than it is later. And Saquon, if we can keep him fresh, I know we're not going to use him like we did last year. I think that's a big deal. We traded for Tank Bigsby. I saw reports where Will Shipley's looking like he's going to come back to practice soon. So he's not going to get the amount of work. He's going to be the number one back, but he's not going to have nearly as many touches as he had last year. And I think that's a focal point. Run him when they need to. They know he's a workhorse, but when they don't need to, they're not going to.
Yeah, I hope they do give Tank Bixby some more run as well. Like this is game 3, right? So Saquon has already taken a lot of damage and is just racking up carries as the season goes on. There's games like this where you have to get the other guy involved just to prevent injury for Saquon Barkley. And I'm all about Saquon not having as much opportunities as he has in the last 2 games. But man, when the game gets tight, or if it's a tight team to play like the Rams, he's gonna get his 15, 18 carries. I just I just hope that he's more of a pass catcher than he is a runner because man, this Rams defense, it really is hard to tell what can get through them. Like you really don't know what they want to do. It's really tough, man.
They're
But I
fast.
will side with you on it because you know the man more than I do. You've already cashed on it. Until you don't cash, I'm on it. But game
And
two, game,
it's the exact
game
same
two.
yardage as last year too. Was last week.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild because
So that's
this.
why I'm like 110 and a half is tough. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get his yards, but 110 and a half. Especially like we're saying, if they're gonna be smart and they've got as many running backs behind him as they do. Will Shipley's talented. Once he gets back and is healthy, there's no reason to rush him back. He will be a part of the offense, and it will cut into Saquon's carries again, but it'll keep him fresh. I think he gets these games later in the year, but they need the running back support for him to get it. They want to keep him fresh. He's not getting younger.
It's definitely a game that I would prefer to watch at 3 o'clock or prime time. They're so sick for not flexing this game over the Giants Chiefs. That's nuts to me. But we'll take what we got. We'll
I mean,
take what we can get.
we're not usually though either, and we've been in the early window the last 2 weeks, I think. Oh no, the Dallas was in the early window last week, which was weird, and we were on Fox with the Chiefs. So yeah, Philly's got some weird scheduling this year. Like they literally go home and away, back and forth for most of the season, like alternate weeks till about the end of the season. I think they finally get a couple home games in a row, but it's a weird schedule for Philly. I would much rather see this in the afternoon.
Yeah, to me, it just feels like the best team in the league should probably get the time slot where there are the most viewers or the least amount of games on. So it's kind of weird to me. But onwards, onwards to game two. I'm going to look at the Steelers at the Patriots. This game could go either way. Okay. This is why the line is so close. I want to say this up front. Steelers are favorited minus 1.5 at the Patriots. The over under is 44.5. I am taking the Steelers, guys. Okay. There are a lot of reasons why the Steelers should be taken right here. I know they shat bed last week. I mean, like in horrible fashion. Like, oh my goodness. You lost that bad to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold threw multiple touchdowns on you.
Caleb Johnson
You're
cost
going up
him that
against
game with the kickoff that he let go over his head, and they just scored a touchdown as he's walking off the field. It did not look good, and I know there was a lot of hype on that kid coming into the season.
there was some bad decision making made. But one thing that's keeping me confident and steadfast on the Steelers team is the fact that Mike Tomlin is 63% after a loss. He's bettable after a loss. A devastating loss at that. And I think that the Patriots, they're going to make it a game. But Aaron Rodgers, his the faith that the Pittsburgh has in him has been faltered. It's been wavering now. After that loss, those interceptions, they're like, wait, is this the guy we want? Like, should we have paid Fields? Like, I don't know what we have just done. I think that Aaron Rodgers brings back that faith. And these are the reasons why. I like Jalen Warren. Okay. Jalen Warren over 2.5 receptions. Aaron Rodgers has came out and said that Jalen Warren is very talented and that he needs the ball in his hands more often. I think the
Well,
checkdowns are coming.
and I'll tell you this: the secondary for the Patriots is proven to be passed on. Dolphins put up points against them, and the Raiders beat them week one. Threw for a ton of yards on them. So that the Patriots secondary is shown to be pretty easy to pass on. So I like anything reception wise out of the Steelers here. I think it will be a close game, but yeah, like I said, that Patriots secondary has got big question marks. They've given up yards all year so far.
The reason why I can't choose a receiver for the Steelers is because Christian Gonzalez will return. And that is not what you want to see. That man is sick. Okay. He literally is what people thought Sauce Gardner was. And he's been targeted. So, like, we see these corners, like the ones from the Broncos, Patrick Surtain. He's looking a lot more beatable right now because they're actually attacking him. They're actually attacking him. Daniel Jones attacked him. Over 50% of his passes were to his side. They are trying to make sure. I feel like people are saying, hey, we're going to see if you are that kind of guy or not. And that's why I can't bet on DK Metcalf because he's going to get the Christian Gonzalez treatment. Yes, he's fresh off of an injury. This is his first game of the season back in the Patriots uniform. I just don't want to risk betting on a receiver, but I do know that Jalen Warren is a capable pass catcher, and 2.5 is very low. I think he can definitely get three. Three is not that's not pushing it at all to me. I don't think. But my next prop is Drake May over 23.5 rushing yards. He is a willing runner. We've seen it in all the games this season. He is a look downfield. If the play is not open, the legs are coming out. Okay. I think that this is what's going to happen with comes to TJ Watt attacking this Patriots O line that is not very strong. They're going to force him out of the pocket, and the forcing out of the pocket is going to make him question to make a bad decision or rush the football. And he's had over 5 carries in all the games this season. He's going to carry the ball. Whether it does good for him or bad for him is up to him. But I do think that his opportunities at home, that's what the real reason is for me to take this bet confidently is that he's more trustworthy at home. There's a chip on your shoulder. Patriots football, I'm a Jets fan, guys. So the Patriots football, it just means more in New England. When you're playing at home, you can't just lose and get blown out. So I do think that this game's going to be tight. The spread, Vegas thinks this is going to be a tight game. I do think that May does what he does best, which is scramble and use the legs. Prop three.
They will have, they will have pressure on him, so he will be trying to make plays. Like he's gonna have to in certain areas. Like it is still a Steelers defense. Their secondary he could throw on, but that front seven with TJ will get pressure. He'll have to use his legs at some point. And Drake May's good at running the ball. He's proven he can get it done with his legs. He looks good running the ball, and like you said, he's had 5+ carries in his first 2 games of the year. And I think the pressure for me, running back or running quarterbacks always comes down to how much pressure are they going to face, or they're going to have to make plays. And it's TJ Watt. He's going to get after him. He's a young guy, young O line. He's going to have to step up and make plays. So yeah, I like that 23.5.
Exactly. My last bet is a kicker prop. Yes, I'm going back to the kicker prop. I do think there will be some drives. Hey, we cashed on the last one. Daniel Carlson for the Raiders cashed for us. He cashed. So I'm going with the Patriots kicker. He's young. He's new to the league. Hasn't been doing this for anyone else but the Patriots. They trust this young man. Okay. He's not just a guy that they just brought in. Hey, if we need you, boom. Vrabel, you know where he came from. The coach Vrabel, he came from Titans. The Titans kick field goals. They've kicked field goals a lot when he was in control of the team. And I think that Andres Borgales, I don't know if I said that right, he is going to have over 6.5 kicking points. Just because I think this game could get to where someone needs to win by a field goal. And I feel like every point counts here for both teams. The Patriots don't want to lose
Yeah,
after they
and Vrabel,
like they just got their
like
win.
He takes the points anytime it's available, whether it's three. He's taking the extra point. He's a very conservative, play defense, get points when they're available kind of coach. He's an old school coach. So yeah, he's gonna want a good kicker. He's gonna trust his kicker. He's gonna put him out there anytime he thinks he can put points on the board. It'll be tight. It'll be a
And I
tight
want to
game.
like remind y'all, he's an expatriate. He used to coach for the Patriots. He's been with Nick Folk. He's been with these guys who have always kicked field goals for this team. This team is conservative, believe it or not. They are a conservative team. They don't have a lot of guys to move the chains. So I think if you can stop them on third down, which I think Mike Tomlin is going to be willing and ready to do, is do whatever possible to stop them on third down. And that could be what gets Andres those kicks. So over 6.5 kicking points for Andres Borgales. Now, that's next game we have is the Carson Wentz Bowl.
Yeah,
Carson
this
Wentz,
is my, my
he's
game of the
starting.
week right here for me.
Carson Wentz, he's starting
I
for the
like it.
Vikings. And
I'm on this one. I'm
Shaq,
on this one. I think they are sleeping on this game. I think they are sleeping on this game. Honestly,
Shaq is on the Vikings, but he likes a total. But let me just say the Bengals are underdogs, 3-point underdogs at the Vikings. The over under is 41 and a half. What do you like, Shaq, in this game?
taking the over all day in this game. Taking the over. Um, Carson Wentz, man. I'm telling. Let me make my argument here. I think I'm on this one. As an Eagles fan, I watched Carson Wentz have pretty much an MVP season before he blew his knee out against the Rams. This is the best O line he's been with since he's been with the Rams or been with the Eagles. This is the best receiving core he's got with Jefferson and Hawkinson since he's been with the Eagles. And he had Alshon Jeffries on the outside and Zach Ertz in his prime. Uh, the last team he played for, his last start, was the Chiefs, making sure the Bengals did not get into the playoffs. They played all backup players, and he threw for 98 yards and got destroyed against a Denver team they let in the playoffs, knowing they could beat. So that was his last start. Don't let those last numbers get to you. And if you look at his starts before that, it was in Indianapolis where they've got nothing. They still struggle, no quarterback, no line. And I believe they got Quentin Nelson the year after Wentz left. So if Wentz has time behind a great O line and their left tackle does play that's been out for Minnesota, they are going to throw all over the Cincinnati team. They need that left tackle to block Hendrickson. But other than that, I think they've got a great run game. I think they've got weapons on the outside. And I'm going to point to my future bets here in a little bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, TJ Hawkinson and Hurts, or and Wentz, I'm sorry, Wentz loves his tight ends. So I'm going to take the over here. I think Minnesota, it gets it going. It's not JJ McCarthy. Wentz has an arm. I think people are sleeping on Wentz here. I like it with the weapons they've got with the over. And Jake Browning's going to have to throw. I think this is going to be a game that people are sleeping on. 41.5 is insane. I think it's going to hit closer to 50.
Uh, it's really tough because this line did lower from 42 and a half to 41 and a half in one day. And
Gotta wear your big boy pants for this bet. I'm telling you, man, I'm on this one. I'm on this one.
but I do think I agree with you though because Jake Browning, like I think Jake Browning might be able to put some points up. Okay. I do think that he has an opportunity to keep this offense going. And
Jake Browning,
hey,
when Burrow missed time before, has proven he made Jamar Chase was still fantasy relevant. So was T Higgins when he was healthy. When Browning was throwing, like they have no options other than to run the ball that or to pass the ball. Sorry, that's what this team is built to do. That is what they paid this team to do. Burrow's not there, but I mean, he threw for 2 touchdowns and 3 picks last week, and he came in early and still had 200 plus yards against the Jacksonville team. Or was it Jacksonville? I can't remember who they played last week, but I know he came in and he had 200 yards, and he looked good. He put up 2 touchdowns. That's 14. So, and you still got Jamar Chase out there. They're going to move the ball. Um, Minnesota on defense is, they're not bad. They're not great. They've honestly, I don't think they've played anybody competitive enough yet between the Bears, and they got smoked by the Falcons. The Falcons defense is really good, but I don't think this team is going to come out with the same game plan that JJ McCarthy, being conservative, getting him easy targets. He is a game manager. He is the first round draft choice Brock Purdy, basically. He's just overpaid early. He's been hurt. He looks injury prone. I think they know Carson Wentz has an arm. Carson Wentz can run on offense. Their head coach is the quarterback whisperer. Look what they did with Josh Dobbs with 5 days notice. Came out and threw like crazy and won that game. This is Carson Wentz. This guy would have been MVP. And maybe I'm not an Eagle fan that hated Wentz. I think he got the short end of the stick. I think the injuries plagued him, but he's had enough time to get healthy and right. I think we're gonna have a Russell Wilson like performance out of Carson Wentz. I really like the over in this game. Both of these offenses are built to move the ball through the air.
and then let's get into your Carson Wentz props. He
All right,
likes Carson Wentz.
I like Carson Wentz over 10.5
Over.
rushing yards. Um, like I said, Wentz in that MVP season could get it done with his legs. If it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and nothing's open, he will take off and run. He's got an offensive line here. Like I think he's going to want to show that he can take this job, that he can lead this team, and we really don't know with that high ankle sprain of McCarthy. And McCarthy has played 7 really bad quarters of football and 1 comeback quarter of football against a pretty bad Bears secondary. So, and it was still close. I think Wentz is going to get pressure here. If the left tackle doesn't play, Hendricks is going to be in that backfield. Like the Bengals, that's all they have is a pass rush. And I think Wentz, if it's an open hole in the field and he needs yards, he will get 10.5. This guy ran for a lot of yards. I know he's got a bad knee from the ACL, but even in Indianapolis, he ran for a lot. And he ran a lot of touchdowns in Indianapolis because there was no one to throw the ball, no line there. So I 10.5, I think is an easy prop. I like that one for 10.5 rushing. I definitely think he can get it done easily. Just go look at some Wentz highlight films. He's a big guy. He can run the ball and he can take a shot.
That's that's one prop that I'm totally on with you because I think Wentz is a capable runner. He told y'all to watch the film, watch the past film. I watched the past film, and he is a willing runner, and so I like him to have a 10.5 rushing yards. Honestly, if you want to be real, the man has scored a rushing touchdown in 4 of his last 8 starts. So even in around the goal line, look out for the man. The man's out here. He's kind of wild. Okay, he is kind of a wild quarterback. He could give you some
He's
good
got a little
days. He could give you some
streak
really
of
really bad times.
He's got some streak of some old Brett Favre in there. You know, he's gunslinger, put it all on the line type of guy. His body's just not built to take that kind of punishment, though. Can't just chuck a bunch of
And
Vicodin at the problem like Favre did.
you lose a redheaded quarterback like Andy Dalton, and then you gain one in Carson Wentz. So I guess he's the new Ginger Dalton. But your second prop on Carson Wentz
so
is his completions.
if you if you don't like Carson Wentz to run the ball here, I'll give you 19 and a half completions. Like I said, I don't think this offense. They're missing Jones as a running back. It's going to be the Trey Mason show. And as much as Trey Mason, I'm sorry, not Trey Mason. I did this earlier. Not the old Rams guy, Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason. As much as Jordan Mason can be the workhorse, uh, it's not something that's long term and sustainable. The Niners did it for the first 4 weeks of the season last year when McCaffrey was out, and it caught up with him. He started missing time. So I don't think if they're smart, they're going to run him, but I don't think he gets 20 touches in this game. I think they're going to utilize the backup back, and they're going to make Carson Wentz throw the ball. They know he's capable. They know they have the weapons. They're going to make it simple, and their head coach is the quarterback whisperer. If he can get it done with Kirk Cousins, who I don't think is good, and he can get it done with Sam Darnold and go 14-3 last year. Carson Wentz, who was almost an MVP candidate in his second year, who knows offenses, he's bounced around the league, can run this offense. I think 19 and a half completions is easy for him. I also, right now, I think they're sleeping on his yards. You can get over 200, it's 205 and a half yards for Carson Wentz right now. And I'm telling you, he's going to throw 240, 250 easy if they're going to win this game. So I like Carson Wentz to just have himself a day here. I think people are sleeping on this one for sure.
All right, guys, you heard it from him. Carson Wentz is gonna have a day. If not, we will have a day against him on Monday. Okay, but
Solo eulogy.
your last prop, it'll be a really funny eulogy if Carson Wentz does not have a day. But T.J. Hawkinson, you like the tight end?
Okay, I do like this. As I was saying, Carson Wentz gonna have himself a day, and this Bengals secondary, we all know you can throw on them. This defense is not very good. They got a pass rush, so I mean he's gonna have to get rid of the ball quickly. And Carson Wentz is notorious for loving to chuck the ball to the tight end on check downs. He's looking for middle seam routes. The year that Zach Ertz finished the number one tight end, had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, over 10 touchdowns, was with Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz threw 31 touchdowns by week 14 before he got hurt against the Rams and blew his knee out in that game. And the only reason he didn't lead the league in touchdowns was because Russell Wilson threw 33. That was your league leader that year. It was not a passing touchdown year. So Carson Wentz loves his tight end. If you look back at the old Zach Ertz films, they love the seam routes. They love the middle of the field check downs. They like the tight end screens. TJ Hawkinson has not been involved in this so far in the offense. And I think they just draw it up. I think JJ McCarthy is a little different when you put him in this scheme and versus Wentz. I think Wentz is going to move the ball. I think he's going to take what the defense gives him, especially a light defense that's not very good. I think they're just going to throw all over him. I like TJ Hawkinson 34 and a half. I see him getting 60 yards and maybe even a touchdown in this game. The way that Carson Wentz likes the tight end position. Like, if it's not on the outside, it's going to a tight end.
I will say that I also agree with this one because TJ Hawkinson needs to get involved. I really do think he's an integral part to this offense, and for him to have a slow start is not what they want in Minnesota. They want him to be able to emulate something of him before he got hurt last season and missed a bunch of games. I think that they're going to get him the ball. I think he's going to get over 3 catches, which is going to get him over this number. Also, whenever you have a defense like the Bengals have, where they can't even guard the receivers, that's going to leave openings for the tight end. Like you can't even man to man guard the receivers. So you got to have a little bit of a help from the linebackers to help guard Chase, to help guard Higgins. The safety has to bite down on those receivers as well, which is going to leave openings in the middle of the field for TJ Hawkinson. He might even get this off 2 catches. That's how I think it could be. It could be a 2 catch. He gets over this yardage. And I like that they're at Minnesota. They're at home. I trust TJ Hawkinson in a game against a bad defense at home. So I'm with him 100% on TJ Hawkinson. He's in one of my parlays. But yeah, he's Shaq's giving y'all because he loves y'all. He's giving y'all a bonus prop on Chase Brown.
Yeah, so if you want to go on Prize Picks and parlay, you got to have two different teams here. I like Chase Brown, 2.5 receptions. Um, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball here. I really like that. I think they're going to play from behind too. Like, I mean, I think Jake Browning is a turnover machine, and if they get down by 2 scores, they're going to have check downs. Chase Brown is a more than capable receiving back. So parlay that with Hawkinson, parlay that with any Carson Wentz take you want, and I guarantee it's positive money, especially with Wentz.
I'm with you there, bro. Like Chase Brown, he hasn't been utilized how I would like him to be used. He was much more lethal. He was much more lethal last season. But this whole Joe Burrow going down thing, he has to be used. You literally chose to make him your number one guy. And this is going to be a high scoring game. So I think he has to be involved because he is a good pass catcher. He's very similar to Jalen Warren. Very similar. And I think the 2.5 for both of those guys should go over. So bet, my next bet for Sunday is at this Texans versus Jaguars game. Texans are at Jacksonville. They are favored by 1.5 points. This game opened up. The Texans were plus 2.5. It has lowered all the way to the Texans being favored. I'm following the books, guys. I'm following the trend, and I'm taking the Texans minus 1.5. To go from 2.5 point underdogs to favorited by 1.5, that's not just no ordinary line movement. That's just common sense. If you got the Texans at plus money, you're lucky. Like that's great because you're looking at this game and you're like, what has Jacksonville done to be favorited initially for this game? Nothing. We've seen the Texans scrap. They have scrapped in both of their games they played. They lost, but they scrapped, man. They are not a team that's easily beaten. Their defense is legit, and I have to take the Texans in a must-win spot because they're still fighting for that division lead. The Colts have surprised everybody. Daniel Jones surprised everybody, and they can't be losing any more games if they want to contend for the division against the Colts, who are undefeated. So I'm going with the Texans minus 1.5. And this is also why. CJ Stroud has only lost to the Jaguars one time. Trevor Lawrence has never beaten the Texans at home in his career. He has never beaten the Texans at home in Jacksonville. That will continue this weekend. Trevor Lawrence averages 1.5 interceptions against the Texans in Jacksonville. He's going to throw one. He's always thrown one. His first season, he did not throw one in Jacksonville. But the next three that he played, he threw two. He threw two again, and then he threw one. He's averaging one every game against this team in Jacksonville. So I'm going to take that to happen again. And also, I do think that Stingley and this defense for the Texans are due for an interception. They are due for a pick because Baker Mayfield, he's a legit quarterback. It's going to be hard to get an INT off of him. Okay. Trevor Lawrence is not that kind of quarterback. And I definitely see him having an issue with this Texans physical defense. My second prop, CJ Stroud, over 226 passing yards. He has averaged 290 against this Jaguars team in his career. 290. He's going to slay them again. It's in Jacksonville, very humid. I do think they're going to rush him. They're going to bum rush him. I don't think the running game is going to be as helpful in this game for the Texans, and it's going to get out of hand quickly. This is the easiest team I feel that the Texans have versed, and I feel like it's going to be a great day for Stroud, who has shown toughness for sure, but if he can't show his skill and what we saw the last 2 years from him in this game, we're going to question the entire Texans team going forward. So I think he's going to definitely have a good day. And that leads to my last prop, CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He averages 2 touchdowns in Jacksonville in his career. He's going to throw
Doing the
two
research.
again. He threw three last time. In Jacksonville. He's going to throw two on the weekend. Jacksonville they aren't a team to trust. They aren't an organization to trust. Shaq,
No, and I agree.
what do you think?
I agree with you on the Texans defense. I think the interception is going to be easy money there. I I don't know about the Stroud touchdown. Their offensive line, to me, is the question. I know Jacksonville. I know this is going to be a division game, and these games tend to be high scoring for some reason. Like you were saying, you're right about the 290 for Stroud. It's just the two touchdowns, offensive line. Yeah, I don't see Chubb running the ball either, but I like Trevor Lawrence to throw an interception for sure. CJ Stroud, I could see him throwing two touchdowns. It's going to be a tight game. I'm not saying that the Jags have a great defense by any means, but I think they got a decent pass rush, especially with that terrible O line. But I agree with you on the interception, and I also with the Texans, the defense is so nasty. They're going to keep them in every game here. So the Texans, I like the Texans to cover here. I think they get a win, a much needed win. And D'Amico Ryan's with that defense. They're scrappy and they're going to get after Trevor Lawrence. So the interception definitely. C.J. Stroud will move the ball. The secondary is not very good. We'll see how Travis Hunter if he's going to play defense or not. But no, I like it. I like it for sure, and I like your I like the over here or the under. Did you take the over? I think you took the over. Did you not?
I do like both teams to get something, but 43 is too high for me to take the over.
Yeah,
Divisional, But
yeah. Did you?
the Texans, one thing, the last thing before I move on to your next game is the Texans. They are still my pick to win the division. I I just don't know how long Daniel Jones can keep this up.
That's
So
what I was gonna say. Earlier, I believe that this Colts team is last year's Saints team that started off 2-0, smoked the Cowboys in week 2. I do not trust Danny Dimes. They've got an easier schedule right now. So they're going to play some tough games coming up the road. I just don't see how he keeps it up. There's no way. And there's no way he's going to be running the ball as many times as he has inside of the red zone. So I still like the Texans to win this division too. They still got 2 games against the Colts to play, who are the leads right now. This division's still wide open, but they got to get this win here. So that would be my reasoning for liking the C.J. Stroud passing touchdowns. He's got weapons. I like Jaden Higgins out there. I think he might. People are sleeping on him. I think he'll have an impact in this game. And Christian Kirk, we'll see if they can get him involved. And Nico Collins, they really need to get a jump start here. I think a division win would be good. And like you said, you put the research in, man. You know the numbers here. You know how Lawrence plays. So I like everything you put down here. I'll take you. I'll take everything you got here just because the research says so. I'd go where the cash flows. So
and it is a Christian Kirk. Thank you for bringing it up. Christian Kirk revenge game. He was traded
mm.
away from Jacksonville. So let's see if he gets involved as well. But your next game is
All right.
wow, your rivals, Cowboys, -1.5 at Chicago Bears. Over under is 50.5. What do you like in this game?
All right. I know Dallas came out, put a clinic on the Giants last week, and threw all over the place. Had all the yards. Devontae Williams had whatever he wanted. This is at Soldier Field. It's outdoors. I don't know how Aubrey kicks in this game with the wind. I mean, he's automatic, but I don't see them having to kick 60-plus yard field goals in this game against this Bears beat up secondary. But everybody is crushing the over on this game. Everybody is liking the over. It's going to be a pass heavy game, but 50.5 is a lot. And I think I learned my lesson with this Dolphins game the Thursday. I want to take the under here for sure. I think 51 points is a lot. It could happen, but I think the Bears really need to get this ship turned around. They also played the Lions, who knew everything about Ben Johnson leaving their organization, and that was a revenge game. To hey, we can put points on you. We don't need you. You know what I mean? And it's at home. And Dak notoriously on the road is not as good as they are at home. I just think 50.5 and everybody going over here. I'm gonna go the other way and take the under. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be like 28, 20, 24, 20, 27, 21, something weird like that. It'll be close, last minute drive type thing. We'll be sweating it for sure, but I like the under here. I'm just gonna go with it because everyone else is taking the over. It's a lot of points to cover. and I don't trust either one of these teams.
Yeah, both these teams have shown to be wishy-washy, and you don't want to take any offense in this one. And both O lines are still not good. The Bears have a lot of injuries, which scares me on the over. But do I think that the Cowboys can score 30 points? No. And that is what I think would get you to the over is if the Cowboys can score 30 plus points. And I don't think they can. So I'm with you on the under. You like another under as a prop bet for Dak Prescott.
It's just a lot of yards. Uh, he's gonna move the ball. I know he's gonna move the ball. It's gonna be another sweat here, guys. But 266.5. I know he threw for the Giants. That game got out of hand. Apparently, the defenses just took off in that game. Made Russell Wilson look insane. 400 plus yards. Terrible pick to end that game. But I don't know. It's outdoors. This Bears team is going to be hungry. They're going to be at home, and they are beat up in the secondary. But did Dak playing outside and on the road? The Cowboys have a great home record, and on the road, not so much. I see him getting 220, 240. You know, they really have come out and used Javonte Williams a lot more than we all thought he would be used in this. We didn't think their run game would be as good as he's been. He's been dominant. I think he's like the number 2 fantasy back right now. So I think they're going to utilize the run game. His over under is somewhere like 70 yards for this game in Javonte Williams, which is crazy. That tells you that they think that you're going to run the ball. They're either going to be up big, which means less passing and more running, or it's going to be an offensive struggle where they're going to be close, 24-20 right in there. And I think he goes under here. 266.5 is too much for me.
He has been balling. I will say, Dak has been balling. We thought that the Giants would have a good defense, and he's shown us otherwise. So I agree with you because of the low scoring game that I think it's going to be. But man, those Bears better come with something because if they don't, they're getting their ass cheeks blown out. Uh, you also like another under for the Cowboys in Javonte Williams.
66.5 rushing yards. That's what it was for Javante. Yeah. Um, if this game's going to be close, they're going to be passing. I think the Bears, they're beat up in the secondary, but they sleep on their front, on their D line. D line's pretty decent at the run. Um, they held their own against Minnesota for 3 quarters, and then that fourth quarter was just insane. They should have won that game, honestly. Javonte Williams, I think, they're going to try and give him the ball, but 66.5 rushing yards on this guy. We were shocked that he got over 50 the first 2 weeks. Uh, like I said, I think this game is going to be a lot closer. Vegas is pushing the lineup. I'm guarantee you the over under moves up to 51, 52.5 by game time. And so I'm just going the opposite way here. I just think this game is going to be closer and low scoring. I think they're going to pass everywhere, but the run game, I just don't see it being an option, especially if either team gets out. Both of these teams have been pass first, and the Bears were, they've been playing from behind. They're going to throw the ball, and the Cowboys rely on throwing the ball. So I just don't see the run game being there, and it's just tough. I don't see it. I'm going against the grain here. I know. I'm going with my guts this week, guys. Last week, or last Thursday with the Dolphins, I had my gut instinct, and I went against it. And this week, I'm going for it. I'm playing fearless, getting into the mix, guys. I'm playing with you guys. If I lose money on you, I'm sorry, but I'm losing money too. So, but I just see the under here.
I I don't want to touch any running back for this Cowboys team. So that puts me on your side of this bet. But your last bet for this game is what I am all in with you on. You like Romo Dunze and his reception.
I like his receptions. I like his yards. They just announced today that Bland's going to be out. So this Cowboys' best secondary player is gone. And I think, like I said, the Bears, they want to come out and run. They've got to beat up DeAndre Swift. So his over under for the game is only 52 or 53 and a half yards. I don't see them getting him going. I don't trust DeAndre Swift. This is not a running offensive line. And with it not being a running offensive line, Roma Dunze is going to be wide open. No Bland. He had a big game last week. They're going to get DJ Moore involved, and this Cowboys team is the NFC version of the Bengals. Like it's paper secondary. I mean, Russell Wilson threw 400 yards on them. So I like Roma Dunze over 4.5 receptions. I like Roma Dunze over 65 and a half yards. I think he has a big game. I would like him for a touchdown. Anything you want to take on Dunze with Bland being out, you saw what the Giants did. I think he's going to step into that role this year as his number one. And don't forget there's DJ Moore. So they've got two really good receivers. I just see him getting 4.5, especially if this game is close. The Bears are a throw first team with Ben Johnson. You saw it in Detroit with the Lions. I think Rome has a good day against this Dallas team at home and Chicago.
I agree with you on this one, like I said, mainly because I think Romo Dunze has this similar type of role that Wandale Robinson has in the Giants offense, like getting those short yards up and through the middle. Not really an outside receiver. That's more like Darius Slayton and Malik Neighbors. They're more the outside threats. I think Roma Dunze has a similar skill set. Like he's going to get the short passes. He's going to make things happen with his yards after the catch. And Wandale Robinson had 9 receptions for 145 yards against the Cowboys. So Roma Dunze, I think his 4.5 receptions could most certainly get him over his yardage. And I think he's going to be the guy that gets the least amount of coverage because of his youth and experience. They want to make sure that DJ Moore isn't doing anything. They want to make sure that Swift isn't getting off on the run game. They want to make sure that Caleb Williams isn't scrambling with his legs. Caleb Williams can run. Like they have a lot of things to worry about. I think that Roma Dunze will get the least amount of attention, which puts him open to those catches and those yards. So I'm with you 100% on that play. This is going to be an interesting game. It is one of the later games. So, which is, I'm not sure why they put this so later than the other games, but it is a later game. So you guys can watch this game midday when nothing else is on. But I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as Shaq said. It's the under 50 and a half. So that's that. But my last game is none other than the Jets, man. We're back betting on the Jets game. Okay. Jets at Buccaneers. Do I trust the Jets offense? Yeah, I do. With Tyrod Taylor, you say? Tyrod Taylor?
Who?
I do. He was actually in a close competition when we first got him. Justin Fields, he literally showed his composure as a leader. He was picked up and paid by the Steelers, which forced Tyrod Taylor to have the backup role. But last season and the season before that, Tyrod Taylor should have been the answer. The Jets were content. If Justin Fields did not sign with us, we were content with having Tyrod Taylor as our number one receiver. I literally was thinking back in March, April, that we would literally go into the season with Tyrod Taylor. So I do think that there is a plan. He was prepared. He is ready for this start and probably one of his only starts. Who knows how long this concussion cannot last 2 games for Justin Fields. It better freaking not, dude. He better get a new freaking brain if that's what's going to happen. If this man can't come back from a concussion in 2 games, bro, he better
It's not a
get a new
linear,
brain.
it's not a linear. Man.
And my best bet for this game is the over 43 and a half. This is betting on the Jets without betting on the Jets, okay? We're just betting on us to not be embarrassed. You know, the Bills embarrassed us, okay? There was a whole week where Tyrod Taylor did not think he was going to play. Now he had a whole week to prepare. We don't have the best weapons, but we have enough weapons to put points on this Buccaneers team. We actually have a better O line than the Texans. I will say that. Fields has not been sacked a lot. It's only been 2 games. But I do think that we have a much more encouraging O line than the Texans. So there will be times when we have the ability to move the ball up the field, to move the chains. And our running backs will have opportunities. We saw Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had opportunities. He ran through this Bucks defense at times in the last week. So I will say we're going over. My first prop for this game that supports my over is Mason Taylor over 22 and a half receiving yards. He's only been in the league for two weeks, and he is already an integral part of the Jets offense. He is trusted with the ball. He has capable hands. He's a big body receiver. He could also block at tight end. And we saw Dalton Schultz get loose on this Buccaneers team. Dalton Schultz was quiet. He was cold. People were worrying if they were moving on from Dalton Schultz and playing the backups. There was Harrison Bryant from the freaking Browns was getting more looks at tight end than Dalton Schultz for the Texans. And he was just acquired recently before this year started. And we saw Dalton Schultz get loose. I think that Mason Taylor will have the opportunities to do the same. Do I think that we have enough weapons to take away from the attention of Mason Taylor? Not really. But I know play actions are going to be available for this Jets team, and Mason Taylor will be open. Tyrod Taylor, Taylor on Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is also a scrambler. Okay, he's not a fast 20-yard runner, etc. But he will move out of the pocket as well. We've seen this happen with the Chargers before he got sabotaged. The sabotage from the Chargers.
Oh, come on.
Sabotage, man. Just
He's a backup.
bro,
It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fraud.
it was a fraud. It was a fraud that they purposefully injured him so that Justin Herbert can get into the game and start his career. Anyways, I digress, bro. I digress. Mason Taylor is going to have opportunities. I believe in Tyrod Taylor to not win the game. Okay, not win the game. Just score at least 2 touchdowns, get up the field, hit some field goals, get us over this total of 43.5. It's so low. 43.5 is very low. I don't think the Buccaneers are that good on defense to be holding teams under 20 points. I don't think that. I don't at all. And so we will see what happens with that. But my second prop is the obvious prop. Is the prop that everybody knows what's gonna happen, bro. Mike Evans will score a touchdown on my weak ass Jets. Okay. The reasoning because Mike Evans has not had a touchdown this season yet. Baker's gonna force him into the end zone. I promise you. It's at Tampa Bay. They're shooting the cannons off, bruh. That it's gonna happen. Mike Evans touchdown, bro. Egbuka almost had 2 touchdowns to start the season, and Mike Evans has no touchdowns. And they were forcing him. They were forcing passes to him in the end zone in that last game against the Texans. So I do see them continuing that pressure to get Mike Evans involved in the scoring department. It's Baker's friend, bro. They're friends. They're actually like really good friends. So I think that's going to happen. But there's another receiver that I do see getting some involvement. It's a tight end. Another tight end, bro. Cade Otton. Over 28.5 receiving yards. I'll put passing yards, but that's crazy. He ain't passing. Receiving. I gotta fix that real quick, but that's crazy. Receiving yards. The Jets do not guard the tight end well. We seen Dalton Kincaid. He had receptions. He didn't have crazy amount of yards, but he had receptions. Okay. Historically, the Jets have not paid or had a good linebacker unit. We literally were hanging on the wings of C.J. Mosley. C.J. Mosley, who hasn't been elite since like 2020 with the Ravens, bro.
It's
And
been a while.
I won't say that we have an answer right now at linebacker. So K. Auden will have opportunities. He'll be in the middle of the field. Also, the more weapons you have at receiver, the harder it is to guard the tight end. That's my theory for the entire season, guys. The more weapons you have at receiver, the harder it is to guard the tight end because you have to put someone else on those receivers. They can't be alone on an island. Do I want to see Mike Evans on an island with Sauce Gardner? No, they're both big as hell. And Mike Evans is more athletic. Like, I don't want to see that. Do I want to see Egbuka against anyone on my team not named Sauce Gardner? I don't want to see that. It just means that we're going to have to put more defenders on those players, which leaves openings in the flats for the tight end. And so 28.5 is very low for him. I'm taking the over 28.5. What do you think about this game that I just picked, Jack?
Uh, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this game, man. I just not. I think. Yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor is trash. Hot garbage. I don't trust Tyrod Taylor at all. He didn't sabotage anything, my man.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah. I can definitely see Mason getting the yards. I like Mason in the yards. Um, Kate Otten is such a, to me, so hit or miss. But like you were saying, a linebacking core. The over, I don't know, man. It really depends on your Jets secondary and how they show up. Uh, this team was, I mean, the Bucks are so weird. They're so good on paper. They win games, but they only put up 20 points against the Texans and won that game. We covered. Yeah, it took the Bucks on that one. I don't know. I am not as big on Tyrod Taylor. So we got a wins Tyrod Taylor bet here. One of us is going to be apologizing in the eulogy.
Exactly. I literally just even the playing field on your Carson Wentz take by taking Tyrod Taylor. And honestly, bro, it doesn't even have to be a competitive game for this over to hit because we have seen the Buccaneers dismantle teams offensively at home. Last season, they were
They
literally
and then keep it on and keep it on at times too. That's the Todd Bowles mentality.
Baker Mayfield plays excellent at home. Excellent. So I can see them even blowing us out and scoring 30 points in this game. Our defense does not look good. Our defense does not look good. Our coach does look lost at times. We are a very penalty heavy team to where it could give the Bucks short field. I'm scared of the Bucks within 30 yards of the end zone. Within 30 yards of the end zone, I'm freaking scared. So it could be a 30-17 game, a 30-14 game, which would get us over this total. So I'm
All right, I like
I'm
your
betting on the
reasoning. I like
Jets.
your reasoning.
Like I'm betting on the
Yeah,
Jets to give me 14 to 20 points. And if that happens, we going over for sure.
if
Um,
they score 14 points, you guys will go over.
it's a low score. It's a low total, bro. I'm not sure why it's so low, but we'll see what happens, bro. You know, you got two coaches, both head coaches for both teams are defensive coaches. Our coach from the Lions, our defensive coach, and of course Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is the ex-Jet. He's a defensive minded guy. But both defenses haven't been that good. So we'll see what happens. Uh, let's look at this Sunday night game. Give y'all a little extra preview for the end of Sunday. It is the Chiefs laying 6 on the road against the Giants. The over under is 45.5. Our consensus bet is the under 45.5. What else could you say about this game, Jack?
I just the Chiefs don't have a run game. They have a Patrick Mahomes running game. Their offensive line is so bad. Um, I don't. They haven't put up points. They've only put up 38 points, I want to say, in the first two games total. So this is a real dink and dunk offense. Xavier Worthy is supposed to play, but I mean, even on a blocking play with that shoulder, I wouldn't have him out there. There's no reason to run him out there. It's still early in the season, you know. Um, I just don't see how they get it done. I don't see the Giants coming out and throwing 400 yards again. This is a real defense in Kansas City. Like they're not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to get pressure on Wilson. I think they're going to make Wilson look bad as far as Kansas City's defense goes. It's going to be a tough day. It is in New York, and if the Giants do have a chance of keeping this game close, I just see it being 2017, 23-20, real close. But I just don't see the over hitting here unless the Chiefs just come out and Xavier Worthy looks like he doesn't even have a harness on.
Um, Russell Wilson has not always done well against the Chiefs. Um, honestly, the last three times he's played the Chiefs on three different teams, might I add, he's played for them. He's played against the Chiefs on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's played against the Chiefs on the Seahawks. He's played against the Chiefs on the Broncos. All three teams he's played for against the Chiefs have gone under 45 and a half points. I don't think that teams with Russell Wilson want to give him the reins with the ball. They want to run the ball. They want to get things going and kill the clock. They don't want to, hey, Russ, throw the ball downfield. No, hell no. Like, no, do not throw the ball that far. You're dangerous. You might be able to throw a pick six. So I think that there's caution when you play the Chiefs, when you have Russell as your quarterback. So like I said, we are in consensus on this bet under 45 and a half. His prize pick prop, we're going to give y'all a prize pick parlay. So his best prize pick prop for this game on the Chiefs, and I will give you my best prize pick prop from the Giants. You parlay those two and you get paid. Okay. Jack's prize pick prop is on Patrick Mahomes. Touchdown. Take it away.
I think Mahomes, like I said, that offensive line, trash. Trashville, Bun City, USA. They are terrible. He has had to run for his life. He has been the running game for the Chiefs. And like I said last week, the Giants secondary is trash, but their front seven, should get pressure on him, especially with that line. If they're close, I can just see him scrambling it in, taking it in his own hands. I like Mahomes to score a touchdown on his own here. He had 68 rushing yards last week against us. We were getting pressure. The Giants are going to get any kind of pressure. He's going to have to make plays with his legs. I can see him scooting in the end zone, especially with you're not going to be targeting Worthy in the 5 yard line, over the middle, on the outside. I just don't even see why they're going to put Worthy on the field. I think he's a decoy. Um, yeah, I think Mahomes is going to have to run a lot in this game to keep drives alive and to score, put points on the board potentially. So I like Mahomes. It's a demon pick on prize pick, which I think is silly. I think he can actually run it in for sure. I could see him getting 45, 50 yards here to seal the game and put points on the board.
I'm on board with that too. Also, because you don't want to bet on anyone else on this Chiefs team. Okay. We know that Mahomes is running for his life. Like Shaq said before, he's running for his life every single play. Because specifically, the right tackle ain't doing it. Okay. They're getting off the edge really quickly. He's getting out of there fast. So I think they might be able to get upfield on this Giants team, but will they be able to throw it into the end zone? I don't think so. So we have to bet on a runner. And who better to run for this Chiefs team than the leading rusher for the Chiefs right now, which is their quarterback, Stad. It's so sad because what happened to Pacheco, man? What the heck happened to him? What happened to Kareem Hunt? Like, these guys are not capable of leading their own team in rushing yards. Like, that is nuts to me. But yes, Patrick Mahomes scored TD. It sucks because, like, on the books, sports books, he's plus 320 to score a touchdown. That's our most confident bet. That's not good, but it's the
He's the most
logic. It's
reliable player
logical.
on offense. By far the
It's
most
like it
reliable player on the offense.
it denies logic, but it is a logical pick analytically. We are literally going off the numbers, guys. If someone's to run one in, it's Mahomes. He has in each game. He has a rushing touchdown in each of his last two games. He's doing the Josh Allen right now. He's saying, fuck it.
He's putting the
Like,
cape
I'll do
on.
it
He's
my
got
damn self.
putting the cape.
Literally,
Yeah.
yeah, I got no help. I'm gonna do it myself. So I'm supporting that pick. That's why it's part of our prize picks parlay. My pick to combine with Shaq's pick to get you paid is Wandale Robinson over 3.5 receptions. This is a play that I feel has helped each team be competitive against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a very front heavy team. Their front line on defense is pressuring. Okay. There are openings at the line of scrimmage. We saw Devonta Smith. He did not have a great game, but he had 4 catches for 50 yards, 54 yards. Wandale Robinson is running those routes, guys. We talked about this about Wandale Robinson earlier in the show, if you remember. You can go back and look it up. He is a guy who can get open. He's getting these short routes, the dig routes, the slants. He wants the short yardage because he is good after the catch. He's like a neighbors. Neighbors and him are very similar with after the catch. Just get him the ball, watch them work. I don't think that Russ is throwing the ball deep down the field. The neighbors touchdowns, 50 yards on the field ain't happening this game. This is not the Cowboys. This is the Chiefs. They actually have a decent team. So the short dink and dunk is what's going to be available for Russell Wilson. Wandale can easily get 3.5. He just had 9 receptions. He just had 9 receptions, guys. Can he not get half? Half? Yeah, he's going to get half.
I'm
He's going to get 4
I'm with you
receptions.
on that.
And guys, this parlay together will get you $20 bet will cash you out $90. We trying to get you paid, y'all. This is a great
Make that money.
this is a great parlay. And hey, it's the end of the night. You know what that means? Once you cash on the bets we just gave you on the earlier slates, you just put a chunk of that on this price pick parlay. There you go.
Yeah. Money on money.
Literally, you can be stacking throughout the day. Then you use some of your winnings to stack some more.
Exactly.
Like, just, just keep stacking. So
Playing with house money, man. Gotta put some on.
if you're not playing with house money by the end of this weekend to where you can't put money on, the Sunday night game, we did our jobs incorrectly. So I
Yeah, we're
think,
trying to avoid that section as much as possible. So
telling you, we took much more time for this week, given how the last 2 weeks went, to make sure that y'all have enough
and these
information.
sports books are cracking down. They're starting to get ahead on the numbers, so they're knowing it's going to be tougher as the season goes on. We start to know guys. They're going to start putting these numbers where they should be. So we're going to be studying hard, trying to get the best looks at what we think here. That's why we're taking takes that you're not going to see other guys take. We're studying up, and we're trying to make us money as much as we're trying to make you guys money. So if we're losing, you're losing. If we're winning, you're winning. We want to see winning out there. So we're putting our best foot forward here. We're doing our studying. Trust us, guys. You'll be cashing this weekend.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Let's go over real quick all of our bets for this weekend. The recap. We shouldn't really do recaps because people like to skip to the end of the show. But we are going to do that for y'all because at least we get the view. If you want to just open the video and skip to the end, that's on y'all. You can miss the content and the reasoning why we are betting these bets. But at least we get the view. You get to be we are seen when you open the video, period, and stream the video anyways. So let's go over it. Shaq's first game. He's going with his Eagles at these Eagles Rams game, and he's going with the under 44 and a half points. His first prop for that game is AJ Brown over 3.5 receptions. His second prop is Devontae Adams over 3.5 catches. His third prop is Saquon Barkley under 110.5 total yards. My first game is the Steelers at the Patriots. The Steelers are going to win by 1.5 points. That's my best bet. My first prop for this game is Jalen Warren over 2.5 receptions. Second prop, Drake May over 23.5 rushing yards. And my third prop is Andres Borgales over 6.5 kicking points. The third game and the second game for Shaq, his bets is on the Bengals at Vikings, the Carson Wentz game, the the revival of his career, he says.
You gotta have a day. You gotta have a day.
If he doesn't, we will all let Shaq know he did not. But Shaq's best bet is for both quarterbacks to have a day, pretty much, because he wants the over 41.5. He likes Carson Wentz over 10.5 rushing yards. He's a willing runner, y'all. He will go for it. He's crazy. Carson Wentz over 19.5 completions. His third bet for this game is TJ Hawkinson over 34.5 receiving yards. And he gave y'all a bonus prop because he loves y'all. Chase Brown over 2.5 receptions. My next game, second game for the Sunday slate, is Texans at Jaguars. I'm going with the Texans minus 1.5. Another close favorite to win because I like my first prop, Trevor Lawrence interception. My second prop for this game is CJ Stroud to have a day over 226.5 passing yards. I might even bet this up to 250. That's what I'm feeling right now. The stats are showing. The trends are showing. History has shown. He will throw for 290 on these fools. So I'm gonna try and see what's up with that. If the Texas line is that bad, the Jags will for sure show me. But I'm not gonna believe it until I freaking see it. So Stroud over 226.5 passing yards. My last prop for this game is also CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns for the last game for Shaq. He's going the Cowboys at the Bears. The over under is 50.5. The Cowboys are laying 1.5, but Shaq's going under 50.5. It makes a lot of sense. I don't like either offense. He doesn't like either offense. He thinks both defenses are legit. And his first prop to support this bet is Dak Prescott under 266.5 passing yards. His second prop is Javonte Williams under 66.5 rushing yards. His third prop is Romo Dunze over 4.5 receptions. We are both lockstep on this one. My last game. My last game. Please, New York. Show some freaking backbone. Damn it. Do something. Poking the stick at a dead bird. Like, do something. Do something. The Jets are 6.5-point underdogs on the road versus the Buccaneers. The over-under is 43.5, and I'm going over 43.5. People might think that these guys just suck so bad that Tyrod Taylor can't do anything. I think he can do something. All I need 17 points. 17, 20 points, bro. All I need, Tyrod. And then you can get the hell off my team. Because Fields better be back. Fields better be back, dude, or I'm going to flip out, dude. He's not Tua. He's not a freaking 3-week concussion, miss 3 games, Tua style. I don't want that. I want Fields back in my lineup. But my first prop for this bet, this scary, scary bet, is Mason Taylor, the young rookie tight end who has been actually coming on. He ain't better than Tyler Warren for the Colts, but he's coming on. He's going to have over 22.5 receiving yards. My second prop, my most confident prop for this game is Michael Evans. Mike Evans touchdown. He hasn't had one yet. We are bound to give up one. You saw what happened with the Jets, man. Everyone can get one on the Jets. Mike Evans, the cannons will be sounding off for Mike Evans in this game. Bet that. You can bet that. And my third prop for this game, my last prop for this game is K. Otten over 28.5 receiving yards. K. Otten, he's going to have a lot of vulnerability given his talented surroundings. He has a very talented receiver core around him, which just makes him even more dangerous because of double teams on those talented receivers. Sunday Night Football. By this time, for this game, you should be having a bankroll. You should be winning. You should be up. You should be having a great Sunday, eating whatever food you're eating, getting ready to start the next week at work with cash in pocket, cash in hand. Our consensus bet for the Chiefs at the Giants. Chiefs are laying 6 points. Over under is 45.5. We are consensus betting the under 45.5. We think it will be a low scoring, grinded out Sunday night football game. Will the Chiefs try to like bring some relevancy back to their name? Yeah, they will. They will. Will the Giants coach Dayball? Will he try to save his job? Yeah, he definitely will. He definitely will. But
He'll
the
try.
Chiefs' defense is too legit. And the Chiefs' offensive line is not legit. So
Not at
there's a
all.
stalemate going on, guys. That's called chess. Stalemate. And in this game of chess, no one's going to have a huge lead. No one's getting blown out in this game. Shaq's first prop for our new segment, our price pick parlay. Shaq's going to give you Patrick Mahomes TD for the first leg of this price picks parlay. It's going to happen. He's a runner. He scored both times to start the season. We've seen Dak Prescott run around on them. The Giants have a lot to worry about. Even though the Chiefs' offensive weapons aren't as lethal, the linebackers having to cover Travis Kelce leaves openings. Up the middle. Short yardage, 10 yards from the end zone. Look for Patrick Mahomes to get in there. Okay. My last leg for this price picks parlay is Wan'Dale Robinson over 3.5 receptions. He's just a guy that gets loose, short yardage, upfield, deke and dunk. That's all the Chiefs are going to give Russell Wilson. It's the short stuff. They're not giving him the moon ball. They're not giving him the moon ball at all. So that bet will give you $90 if you bet $20 on Prize Picks. There's also a Prize Picks promo for Patrick Mahomes over 0.5 passing yards. It's a gimme pick. They're giving you a gimme pick to parlay. So you can parlay the gimme pick, the Patrick Mahomes TD, and Wan'Dale Robinson to win $150. But we're just giving you our price pick. You know, that's what we're trying to do. Make y'all money. By this time on Sunday, you should effortlessly have enough money to put $20 on this price pick parlay. Hey, I thank y'all for listening to another episode of Money Huddle. Good luck. Good luck to all the Warriors out here on the sports books.
We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday, hopefully with a short eulogy and a lot more cash in our pockets.
Hey, like I said, we wouldn't do it for y'all if we didn't love y'all. Peace.